Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. This is day 2 of spring cleaning my kitchen. So now that my top cabinets are completely done and yours maybe too, today we're going to be focusing on the drawers and the bottom cabinet. So with that said, let's get right into it. So I'm going to be focusing on the drawers to my right and then I'll go inside the kitchen. This is an extension of the coffee station, which will be day 5 of spring cleaning the kitchen because it's its own thing, but I still need to tackle those drawers right under it. So with that said, let's go over to the drawers. So just like before, I'm gonna be using my vlog camera, hello. And then I have my main camera focused on the space that we're working with. So yeah. So anyway, here is my drawer. So this is our tea drawer, oops. She is pretty compact. Tony is actually the tea person here. I'm a coffee girl, but our tea, it's like any other tea drawer. It's filled with tea. So just as before, I'm going to take everything out. I'm going to go through everything, decide what item I want to keep, get rid of, what items we want, don't want, all that jazz. And then I'm going to either throw them away, donate them, maybe to my mom because she loves tea, or recycle if you can recycle. Even though for tea, you may not be recycling them, but in other spaces, that's just one of the steps that we take as well. We always recycle if the item can't be donated, if the item doesn't need to be thrown away and can be recycled, we of course recycle. So that's what I'm gonna do. All right. If you are not a tea lover and you want to get into teas, but you need the caffeine, this one is pretty good. Excuse my nails, please. It's from Tezo, which I have a love-hate relationship with their teas, but it's the Awake English Breakfast. It's pretty potent. It doesn't give you the same caffeine jump, I guess, as coffee. I don't know. There's something about coffee caffeine that's just super potent, but it gives you something, a spike, a spike. I'll say that. There's a lot of tea here. I'm basically just throwing them on my table for now. There are a few teas in here that we just don't touch, so there's literally no point for us to keep it. I'm gonna see if my mom wants it because, well, if they're not expired, of course. Oh, it says please recycle. Oh, the container, duh. So let me take everything out of the drawers and then I'll be right back. All right, so let's go through everything. So just really quick, this is not gonna be super detailed because this video can get really long, but one of the first teas that I'm even looking at is this Colon Happy organic tea. We never touch it. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it by way of giving it to my mom. Okay, it's a laxative tea. Well, you know what, I am gonna keep it. We only have a few and sometimes you need it. So I'd rather take it in a tea form than like a peel form or a powder form. All right, we do have these. Never touch it. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in a pile. I'm literally just creating 3 or 2 different piles, recycle or donation and trash on one end. And then of course the keep. So these can go, let me see, are they still good is the question. Because I don't want to give my mom anything expired. But unfortunately, it doesn't tell you. And I'm talking about these. Okay, anyway. So for sure, we're going to keep these because this is Tony's favorite. We are going to keep the cozy chamomile tea. Actually, let me see. There is an expiry. Can't see that. Okay, let me put you guys down. Okay, that's good. It's good. So we're keeping the cozy chamomile. Cool. Which we definitely like it, especially when you are just trying to have a relaxing night and you want something warm. This one always works. We're of course keeping the Tezo. I'm just kind of putting them together. You don't really have to because I'm gonna have to do it whenever I do put them back. But let's categorize. Okay, Tezo, you come over here. Don't know why, but okay. We actually got these two at a wedding. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it because we don't have a tea strainer, and I'm not gonna get a tea strainer just for those two. So that's something you have to consider whenever you are giving out tea at a wedding, is to give people strainers so that they can actually seep your tea. All right, so tea is done. So that was really simple. Now we have room to grow, but we're probably not gonna buy tea for a while, so it'll be pretty empty before we stock up. I did decide to keep the celestial tea because, I don't know, I said, let me give it one more good try. I was just looking at it and I was like, oh, there's a lot of like herbal, like very fruity teas. I do really like those. So I'm like, let me just try it out. So I'll put them back before I give it away. And if I don't like consume it in the next like 2 to 3 weeks, I think that's when I'll just give it away, assuming that it's not expired. I don't know. But anyway, but yeah, now it is nice and clean. Everything is organized. So because Tony uses this space all the time, he can go in there and get what he needs with ease without kind of having to, you know, spend time looking for the one he wants, even though it was kind of organized before, but now it's just a lot better. So next space we're going to focus on, well, let me close that. Bam. Next space we're going to focus on is this one right here. So this is our foil, we don't have saran wrap, but our foil / ziploc area. It's pretty empty. I'm basically just gonna take everything out and clean it out. I've been debating if I should get those Ziploc organizers. I'm sure you've seen it everywhere, TikTok, Instagram, but it just isn't really practical for me because we don't really carry a lot of Ziploc bags. We don't use a lot. The one that we have now, honestly, has been here since like last year. So we hardly ever use it. So I just decided to not invest in that unless we do start changing it up and get different sizes. But until then, I'm gonna keep it as is. I'm just gonna clean up this space. Some of these Ziploc bags, as you can see, are just kind of thrown in. So what I'll probably do is put a few in one Ziploc bag and just kind of have maybe like different sections. So at least it looks a lot better. But we usually keep our torch in there as well because we use her a lot. So this is kind of what works. Actually, I think I'm going to actually take this out and put it in our junk drawer because, no, I'll keep it there because we honestly use, like Tony knows to go there to get the torch. So I'm not going to change it up for him. It's all about creating an organized space that works for both people and not creating new systems that don't work. So I'm going to keep it there, even though for some it may not make sense, but for us, for Tony, it makes a lot of sense. So anyway, I'm going to take everything. This has been through a lot. I'm going to see if I can tape it, but I'm going to take both foils. I'm also thinking of getting an organizer for the foil since we always do have foil. I mean, are we cooking with foil all the time? No, we usually do have parchment paper as well. I'm actually going to create a grocery list and add that to it, but we don't use them often enough to be like, oh, let me get these organizers for these things. But I don't know, maybe because I've been cooking lately, so putting things in foil kind of makes sense. Look at this. This is an empty lighter package. Why do we have it? Don't know. Anyway. Oh, because there's a lighter just randomly in there. Maybe I'll add a little organizer to that space to hold the torch and the lighter so that it's just like in one place and not just sitting on the bottom. Oh, okay. Well, we have 2 lighters in there. It's been hiding. So yeah, and I'm gonna also take this organizer out. All right, so let's All right, so she's clean. Now I'm going to add this organizer to it. This is from the Container Store, of course. This is when the Container Store would carry a lot of these. They don't really, I'm not gonna say they don't carry them, but sometimes it's hard to find them. But Bed Bath & Beyond, they also carry them, and they're literally the same. Okay, let me see if I can't do this with one hand. Hold on, guys. All right, I think that's good. Nice and secure. And so this is foil that has not been used. And then we have the one that is just beat up. Which, let me see if I can, okay. All she needs is really some tape. Let me see if she'll, okay. I'm gonna actually get a piece of tape for this. She is nicely taped and ready to go in. So, because we use this often, we use this one the most, I'm probably, let me actually do this flipper. I'm going to, okay. She's like, I don't want to stay. I'm gonna actually push this organizer over a little bit. So she's a little bit tight in there. Just a little bit. Let me see. Just maybe till right here, because there's the knob. The knob, what am I trying to say? The knob screw is literally right there. So I'll keep here this distance, which is fine. She's gonna move. And then I'm going to, let me see, not even straight. Ugh. Okay, now I'm going to put the Ziploc bags in here. Okay, so these are some scraps. So when it comes to the Ziploc bags, I'm trying to, so I want to organize it in a way where it's not really like unraveling, where it's not going to unravel. So I'm thinking of either putting a few in one Ziploc bag and then just having them sit in a row, or using one of the using an organizer, a drawer organizer, and kind of like rolling them like this. Like this, and then placing them inside. They're all the same height, or they're all the same size Ziploc bags. So maybe having one organizer for that, and then having another one for these torches. I don't have any new ones, so I'm gonna go see if I can find some upstairs, because I have a lot of upstairs. But yeah, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Plus, I feel like there's a lot of room there, because essentially they were going to just be in a row like this. But maybe if I have an organizer that's about this width or this wide, I can have one here and then. All right, so I'm gonna go see what I have and come back and see if it works. I wasn't planning on having any organizers outside of this drawer divider in this drawer, but I'm tired of seeing these Ziploc bags fly out every time I open the drawer. That is just not working. So I'm gonna see if I can create a better way to keep them organized. So I'll be right back. I think I found a solution. So I'm gonna be using these drawer organizers. I've showed you guys these in my videos a few times, and I actually stole some from my makeup bin. We're gonna have to replace them. So anywho, so what I'm thinking is having the Ziploc bags sit in this. It won't be able to sit horizontal, but it can sit vertically. So basically I'll have one on one side, one on the other. Put them together like this, create some space. And then I'll put the lighters, the torch in here, and those can either, you know what, I'll switch it. They'll sit in the front, and then, so the torch, the lighters sit in the front, Ziplocs sit in the back. If I needed to expand it, I can always add some of the small organizers to the back for other things. But other than that, I really do like this setup. So now our foil sits on one side, and then the Ziploc bags will sit on the other side, and they'll just be really divided into two because there's two organizers for them. So I ended up washing the organizers before I used them, of course. And now, yay, that fits. So now let's see how everything works. So again, I'm going to, let me sit you guys down with me. Hi. So just as before. So as I showed you before, I'm just gonna kind of place them together like this, and then and then loosely roll them, just so they're easy to grab. Again, if we do choose to increase our Ziploc bags for whatever reason, then I may end up getting that. Then I may end up getting the Ziploc bag organizers, but at this point in our lives, we do not need them. So there is no point in spending money on them because they range from about 40 to 50 on Amazon and Etsy, which isn't too bad. I mean, I've spent clearly a lot more. This Ziploc bag is not great. Let's take that out. But I just, again, if there's literally no use for something, most likely I'm just not gonna buy it anymore. I used to just be someone who would buy, especially organizing products, because I'm an organizer. I have an organizing company and I like to use them first. But I don't know, at this point, I'm just kind of like, I don't need to do that. All right, now that they're like this, so I'm thinking of kind of rolling it like this so that you can like grab it like that. Let's see. So that sits like that. Do it with the other one. Literally roll. So I'm kind of folding, actually not rolling. So I'm folding and then I'm like rolling upwards, so it's still easy to grab. So I'll put this next to it like that, and then the torches sit there so you can just kind of grab and go. I feel like that works. Everything is secure, so that is nice. I like it. I'm happy with this. Yay! So I'm gonna keep everything in its organizer and I'm gonna sort through it here, and then I'll take it out because it's a lot easier for me to just see each section than taking them out. But of course, take them out if you need to, if you have too much. I don't have that much, so I can kind of see what I have. So what are we gonna get rid of? So basically we have one set of forks and spoons and butter knives. So those are gonna stay. And then these right here are Sabria's and her cousin Cam. These are gonna stay because they use this whenever they're here. She uses it when she's here. This is like her set. We do have a few scoops in here, which we may keep them in here. But one thing I am gonna let go of, honestly, are these straws, because I don't know what they belong to. I don't know what does this belong to? I have no idea. Actually, these straws, I don't use them at all. There's no point in me keeping them. That can go. And this one's broken. So there's no point in me, of course, if you know, I don't hold on to broken anything. These are good. We do use these for our smoothies. Sabria loves using these. So these are going to stay. This is gonna go. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put my going throwaway pile on this side. I've had these for a long time. A client actually gave me these, but I never use them. They're apparently bag clips, and you're like supposed to put the bag in here and do something with it. It just doesn't work for me. So basically everything that's here, we are keeping. Some of the utensils are in the dishwasher. And then on this side, so this side is basically things that, utensils we use all the time. I'm looking through here. We pretty much use everything. This is our wine stopper or topper, I don't know. We use all these, even though these are really old and crusty, we use them all the time. This actually belongs with the gadgets, but because they don't fit, I just keep them here. And then this is what we use for our popcorn machine, which essentially we use these together. So I'll definitely hold on to that. And then, basically everything is good here. There is a lot of crumbs in here, so they definitely need to be vacuumed. So I am going to take this out. This is what I'll do. I'll just transfer these to this area. Because we use the flatware all the time, they are clean. Let's So there's no need to clean them unless you had a few set that you haven't touched and you still want to hold on to them and you have room in your drawer. Then of course you clean them. As you can see, there is a lot of crumbs in here. I'm not sure how crumbs get in here, but they do, because this is supposed to be clean, but whatever. So I'm gonna go get the vacuum, of course, and then do the same with this side, clean the drawers, put everything back in. I'm pretty good with getting rid of things periodically, so that's probably why it's not full of stuff that we don't use, or we're not getting rid of a lot of things. But if you haven't, or if you don't do that, this is the time. Plus, you know, it's only two of us, so we're pretty minimal when it comes to a lot of things in here, with the exception of, I know those dishes, there's a lot in there, but we're pretty minimal. So we don't see the point in having we just don't see the point in having 2, 3, 4 sets of flatware, especially because it's just us two, and then sometimes Sabria, and she has her own set. So yeah, it's really important because I feel like this is how we keep up with our stuff. This is how we're able to use our stuff. And then whenever they start to wear, we then replace them without, you know, having a packed drawer. Because what I see is a lot of people have a lot of stuff, a lot of clutter in their kitchens. Therefore, they have issues with keeping it organized because they have a lot of stuff. So as I always preach, the less stuff you have, the easier it is to keep your space organized. And that's a fact. All right, so just as before, I took everything out, went through it, cleaned the drawer itself, then cleaned the organizer using my multi-purpose spray, but I sprayed it on a piece of napkin and wet it a little bit because this is bamboo and just want to make sure that it's good. And yeah, so now I'm gonna put everything back. So I placed some of the utensils in the utensil holder that's next to the oven, but these are the ones that I like to keep in here. So this is a smaller whisk for eggs. I got these at Sur La Table, and they are probably the best that I've had thus far. Super great quality, love them. And then our mixers, or these are not mixers. These are, what are they called? I can't even think of the name, but these, love these. Use them quite often, so of course they're going to stay. Actually, I think they can, yeah, they can sit. That works. Yeah, this is it. Drawer is nicely organized. Same with this drawer. There's so much room in here now. Literally, like this, I like my drawers looking sparse because I don't know, it just makes it look a lot more cleaner than not. So now they are nice. I might actually put this with the white on that side just because, you know, cohesivity and stuff, or cohesion. There we go, cohesion. Makes sense to me. Okay, I'm like, is it gonna fit? There we go. Everything fits. Bam. And bam. All right, so next is this drawer. So this is our gadgets drawer, and you know, she gets used a lot actually. The gadgets we use the most is probably the wine, and that's pretty much it. I am starting to cook again, so we'll be using this more often, which I may actually put on that door. Oh, hello. Well, we don't need that part. I may actually have this hanging and take it out of this drawer because it's taking up space, and then this girl can sit in here. So yeah, so just like before, I'm just gonna go ahead and take it out and put it on the countertop. The counters are pretty clean, so yeah, I'm not sure why all these crumbs get here. I'm assuming from the continuous like opening and shutting and cooking on this side, maybe. I don't know. It's so weird. Like, look at all that. Which is why it's so important to do this, because this just kind of sits there. I'm sure I can take her out. Yeah, she has been sitting in there for a while. So I'm gonna deep clean the drawer, the organizer, and then I'm gonna wash all this stuff since it was sitting in filth. And then the drawer next to it, this is where our cleaning cloths sit. I'm not sure why this is here. And then like our sponges, I love these. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing, basically just kind of do both. So I'm basically going to take everything out and just kind of work on both of them at the same time so that, oh, one more, so that it kind of gets done. A lot of our cleaning cloths are in the wash, so.
That's just love. I would never let you down. That's just love. And you keep on thinking that's just love. That's just love. I would never let you down. That's just love. And you keep on thinking that's just love. That's just love. I would never let you down. That's just love. And you keep on thinking that's just love. That's just love. I would never let you down. That's just love. And you keep on thinking that's just love.
So to properly close out this video, I'm gonna go ahead and push the junk drawer to part 3. So in part 3, you're gonna see me organize and spring clean our junk drawer. I am gonna change up some things, so definitely stay tuned for that. And then I'm gonna go to my lower cabinets and then possibly the pantry, I'm not sure yet. So definitely stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in part 3.
Just pulled up to the house.